A garden means something new, something fresh, something that gives hope, something that inspires.
When I think of a garden, I think of a wonderful, warm, sunny place that's welcoming and fun to explore.
Something that gives life to people, to an idea, to a situation. Good morning. How are you? As a parent of a special needs child, there's so much tension in your everyday life. You have to take the time to release and to find that peace and serenity someplace. It's hard to find something like that. I know. Doing this 24/7, it's a job that we are committed to do. You have no choice. You didn't ask to have a special needs child, but you have it, and you go with it. When Gio was born, he was the perfect child. He really was. We had no idea that anything was wrong. Until about 2 months old, we started hearing some strange noises when he was sleeping that sounded like he was having nightmares. On his 7-month birthday, we went to the pediatrician just for a random visit, and on the way out, I remember I turned around, I said, "Oh, by the way, we think that he's having nightmares. We want you to check out this video." And this is one of those Kodak moments it's a really bad Kodak moment that I will never forget. She looked at it and she looked up at me and said, "Those aren't nightmares, those are seizures."
Good job, G. There you go.
On August 29th of 2006, he underwent a 5-hour surgery and he did great, but in hindsight, it didn't really do anything. His seizures went from starting off about 5 a day to the time of the surgery, he was having about 15 a day. 5 years later, he was having more than 70 a day. They couldn't find any basis for the seizures. He went from medication to medication, fail. Then finally, when he was 2.5 years old, he was diagnosed with Lennox-Gastaut syndrome, which is a rare form of childhood epilepsy. It is marked by constant seizure activity in the brain. You don't always see the seizures coming out, but his brain is constantly firing off seizures. We saw him decline rapidly to the point that he stopped walking. And he only had really 20 words to begin with, and a lot of those were animal noises, and he didn't do any of those anymore. He couldn't even say hi, which he used to say all the time. And he does a lot of howling and barking, and he stopped doing that too. So this house got from really, really chaotic and crazy and loud to awfully quiet. And he just wasn't there anymore. He would look at you, but it was like, he's not there. I really thought we'd be lucky we got to his 5th birthday, and we did. And that day I cried because I was very grateful that he was still with us, but scared, could this be the last birthday that we're celebrating? We were not able to get respite care, so it was me coming home from work at 8 o'clock in the morning, my husband leaving for work, and getting Gio and Benicio up and ready for the day.
Gio's here.
Gio's here. You want to go inside?
Come here, Benicio.
Gio has therapy for 2 hours, and then he gets on the bus and goes to school at 11 o'clock, and then I'm with Benicio the rest of the time. Can you throw Gio's dirty diaper in the trash for me, please? Here. He did pee. Can you go throw it in the trash?
He does pee.
Uh-huh. Throw it in the trash, over here. Gio comes home from school at 3, then he has another therapy session from 3:30 to 5:30. What a big help you are, thank you. Good job, buddy. So it's basically here at home the entire time. With Gio, it's regardless, it has to be 24/7 care because he still has poor muscle tone. You don't know when he's gonna fall or trip or something. You don't know when his seizures are gonna come. With his tube feedings and his regular eating schedule, everything has to be on the mark. Nothing can slip aside. And then we've got the medication issues as well. So he needs a twin. He needs somebody to be following him like a shadow all the time. We now have 24 hours of in-home respite care. We have a personal care worker. So she is helping with Gio while I'm still dealing with Benicio.
Good work. There you go.
Because I have been out there talking about Gio's Garden and just talking about special needs in general, it's brought out other people who were afraid to talk.
Hi. Did you have fun at Grandma and Grandpa's? Did you?
You gonna say hi to Rylan that he's home now? You got
Say
this.
hi.
You say hi? Good girl.
Labor was pretty intense, came out, and he was in intensive care. He had fluid in his brain, and then some of his bones in his head were prematurely fused together. It took over a year to figure out that the combination of all those things probably caused brain damage. Gio's Garden means time to do things that aren't as easy anymore. Running an errand, going to a movie, things like that, or just us being together, playing with our dog. Just things that aren't as easy to do with a child that is in a wheelchair. You know, that has to, things outside just become a little bit more challenging. It's very hard for us to keep our relationship good when we're always dealing with him, and we always put him first. You know, if we're sick, it's always him first and us second. And so just being able to have a place that we feel comfortable taking him, even if it's for a couple hours so that we can go to a movie or get a break or whatever, would be huge.
I think the need has been there for a long time. I think it's just a daunting task to try to come up with a mechanism that would really be widely available and practical for families. You know, we have wonderful services in terms of physical therapy, occupational therapy, the Birth to 3 program. We can give younger infants and children great services, but we've never come up with a place to do true respite care.
We want to do this right. We want to be able to have the staff there that I would be comfortable leaving Gio with. There are no questions that I feel like I'm leaving them with family. So we need $250,000, not only just for your basic rent and utilities, but for top-notch staff, which would involve nurses. And we also want to get equipment. We want to get occupational therapy equipment, physical therapy equipment. We don't want these kids just sitting around doing nothing. The one tulip that is dotting the I of Gio's Garden stands for respite. And that's the one flower that we're really trying to get grow right now. And eventually we want to get other flowers popping up along the vine of Gio's Garden that could stand for resources, that could stand for therapy, that could stand for equipment. You have to plant seeds to start off with. You have to really care for what's going to be coming out of the ground and see what is going to flourish from there and then how it's going to spread. I see a little boy who I am fortunate enough to take care of, who has brought so many wonderful gifts to me, to my family, to this community, to this world. I see a perfect child.